Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another episode of South of the Curtain. As always, it's your boy, Devin Hine, joined from across the Microsoft Teams screen by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Lucas Mueller. Want to say hi to the folks, Luke?
Hello, folks.
Jiminy Cricket. I don't know what to say, folks. I really don't. After a 10-7 embarrassing performance against the Philadelphia Eagles at home, not only at home, but wearing the proper goddamn uniform, because most of the time we tried out some white snow frost alternative or one of the weird throwbacks. No, we were even in the God-given green and gold, our actual Packer jerseys, and we did not play most of that game how we thought the actual 2025 Green Bay Packers would play it.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's a lot there to unpack about your thoughts on our alternate jerseys. I kind of like them, but that could be a conversation for a different day, a happier day.
That's an off-season podcast.
That is. We'll like rank our alternate jerseys from the last 30 years or something. Good off-season content, which at the rate we're going is going to come sooner than we thought, right? Like, because what is this? What is happening? What are we doing? There's a lot of reasons for the disappointing play and the disappointing loss. We're going to talk about a lot of them. But just the frustration at this point. I don't think I've ever been more frustrated at a team that's 5-3 in my life. Like, just what is happening? What are we doing? Matt, what are you doing? Like, just, can we just look like a normal football team for one game from start to finish? I'm not even asking for a huge blowout anymore at this point. I just want to look like a functional football team. Because we're not right now.
Feels like you're asking for the world, bud.
It really does. It really does. Like, somehow, this almost felt worse than the Panthers game to me. And I think that's because after the Panthers game, you hope that that's the slap in the face, right? It should have already happened after the Browns game.
I was going to say, the second slap in the face.
It should have already happened, but if it didn't, like, okay, guys, let's go. We got a big-time opponent coming up at home, primetime game. Like, this is it, right? This is the game where you fight back.
And a revenge game, a two-time revenge game. Yeah.
Right. 100%. Like, you should have all the motivation in the world to come out with your hair on fire and to play a great game. And half the team did, right? Half the team did.
Yes.
And the other half just didn't do anything. Again.
And I'm going to piggyback what you said and lead into my I think and I know. And I know that without a doubt in my mind, this Philadelphia Eagle game has to be in the conversation for the worst, like the best wasted defensive performance. But like this might be the worst outing of it. I mean, when you think about San Francisco in the playoffs, that comes to mind.
That's the other one.
But in this game, they gave us the ball back twice with under 2.5 to go, right? We get that touchdown, that Josh Jacobs drive.
Yeah, our only points.
Only points, unfortunately. But then we have a third down pass pick up by Carrington Valentine to give us the ball back. Mm-hmm. And then when the Eagles foolingly decide to go for it on that fourth down,
for some reason,
25 seconds, they have a one-on-one shot to A.J. Brown. And I know you have a safety over the top, and it's Xavier McKinney. And he comes over to socialize, have a little cup of tea, and say hello. But that is basically man-to-man coverage, Carrington Valentine on A.J. Brown. He had a lights-out game, several key pass breakups. Mm-hmm. Like, that is the look the Eagles wanted. That is the look they've all been praying for because they're all saying A.J. Brown doesn't get the ball enough. And he just got shut down by a 7th-round pick corner out of Kentucky, Mr. Carrington Valentine. But moments like that, the Edger and Cooper forced fumble in the first half to stop a drive, I mean, bro, insane defensive effort on all levels against a top-tier offense that has weapons galore across the board, and we can't even enjoy it. We can't even enjoy it. Even just talking about this great, elating performance, I feel the pit in my stomach because it was all for naught.
I agree completely, right? And even when it was during that Saquon dump off that went for 40 yards or whatever, I texted the group and said, they get a touchdown here, it's over, essentially. There's a ton of time left. Unfortunately, I was streaming behind you guys. You guys already knew the fate of the next play being the Devontae Smith touchdown. But it just felt like anything more than 3 points, a 3-point differential was going to be insurmountable, and it's exactly what proved to happen. And the defense, you're right, played absolutely lights out. They played as good as you possibly could have. And somehow, it still was not enough. When you play an offense that's that talented, they're going to make a couple plays. Saquon will break something at some point, right? Either Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown will get a long pass at some point. And in both cases, it only happened once, and it's all it took to put the game out of reach, right? Those two plays was one drive. That's it. They scored 3 points outside of that.
And let's talk about those two plays briefly, because one of them is a Jalen Hurts keeps the play alive, which, again, he's an all-pro quarterback, a Super Bowl champion. What do you expect he's going to do? Gives it to Saquon Barkley, and it's Saquon and CV and 15 yards of grass.
Yeah, not CV.
I don't care. I don't care who that is. 90% of the corners in this league don't make that play. So give them theirs. We track him down, and then they scheme up. And you basically, I'm assuming it's in zone coverage, it looked like it. You have Devontae Smith being covered by Evan Williams. And Evan Williams actually has pretty darn good coverage. It's just, there's a reason why Devontae Smith is one of only a handful of wide receivers to win the Heisman Trophy.
He's good.
People seem to forget that. So, yeah, they're going to make their plays. But like you said, 2 plays, and that was it.
It's all it took because our offense was absolutely brutal and useless again.
I wouldn't say completely useless. Have you ever had the thought that maybe Aaron Banks and Jordan Morgan are having some sort of, career identity issue, right? Westerns are making a big comeback into movies, right? Like Sinners was phenomenal. Maybe Jordan Morgan and Aaron Banks are just putting film on tape that they can be phenomenal turnstiles. Like when you enter a saloon, right? Just blow right by them. Look at them. Just go right in. Have a drink. They're phenomenal at it. They're absolutely great. Have you seen some of the cut-ups?
Yeah, I saw the Banks one. Yeah. It was brutal.
And on the 4th and 1 run to Jacobs, the defense goes right through Jordan Morgan and also Luke Musgrave. He fell down without catching the ball.
Do we want to talk about that play right now?
You know what? I loved our show last week where we just jumped around.
Let's just do it. Let's talk about that play right now.
So let's do it. Fire away, Lucas, because apparently you have some hot take about it as per our pre-show meeting.
It's hot take-ish, right? Because, okay, so we were running inside zone, right? Inside zone. Josh Jacobs on the right-hand side of the quarterback, if I remember right.
Probably, yeah.
So they called out the play ahead of time. Big problems there, right? I'm with you on this 100%. The defense starts yelling out the play. Inside zone, it's coming right here, inside zone. We had a timeout, right? I think we had 2. We could have used one, get into a better play. We don't know if Jordan has the capability to audible out of that play, right? It kind of sounds like he doesn't.
From the post-game stuff, which I've tortured myself and listened to every single Packer coach.
I couldn't do it
all week. So let me tell you, it didn't sound like that there was an opportunity for him to audible out of that. Like it sounded like he canned, or they saw the run look. I don't know if it's an automatic can based upon how many people are in the box, right, folks?
Probably,
I mean, these are numerical solutions. If there's X amount in the box, you run. If there's less, you get what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
The box declares what play you're going to go with. But it seemed like, that after the Eagles were calling it out that there wasn't enough time, there was no ability, or whatever the case was, and the ball was still hiked.
There's no excuse at that point to hike the football, right? I'm going to say that. We had timeouts. There was plenty of time on the play clock, oddly enough. And Josh Jacobs, after the game, talked about how it affected what he was going to do with the football, right? Because he knew that he couldn't run where the play was designed because they knew where it was going, right? So then he tries to bounce it. And then fumbles while he's trying to, like, lateral back to Jordan or whatever. Here's the problem, okay? And that is all of that is inexcusable. And it's pretty much all or most of on Matt, right? Maybe a little on Jordan if there was an inability to audible or be, like, smart enough to realize, hey, let's take the timeout. Josh Jacobs heard for sure that they were calling out inside zone. Maybe he could take the timeout too, right? Whatever. Have you watched the all-22 of the play?
Not the all-22, no.
The hole where the play's designed was there. But Josh didn't run into it because he knew they knew where it was going. So go take a look after this, after we get off. But, like, he could have made it if he just ran to exactly where they thought he was running to. Because you're right. He bounced it right behind Jordan Morgan and Luke Musgrave, who got blown up right back into him.
I mean, how far over is this running back dive going, right? Is it going
like left
in
guard.
Between the center and the left guard?
Yeah, left guard, be gapping.
I still felt like with how bad Jordan Morgan got pushed back, that play would have been blown up even if he tried going the regular way. I do trust your analysis.
I'm not saying he necessarily, like, gets it. There was a hole for him to get to and through. Things can happen.
And there was
nothing
also
on the right side because the right side just got completely blown back into him.
Illegal procedure.
Correct. So it wouldn't have mattered anyways.
Doesn't help. Yeah.
Which that's a whole thing because we had multiple of those. Guys, you got to learn how to line up.
Well, and communicate, too. There's all this talk about, like, the tight end next to them. Like, you need to communicate who's on, who's off. That's something you do every single play. That's the first thing you do when you get to the line of scrimmage as a skill position player, making sure you're checking with the ref, making sure you're good. Now, I believe it was Bo that got called.
Yeah, at least on one of them.
And reports that I've heard is that he checked with the ref, and it's how I've been checking up the entire game. Like, on that play, whoever it was, I think it was Bo, I could be mistaken, but on that play, the guy lined up, as he said, in the spot that he lined up the entire game, and he checked with the ref and said he was good, and then all of a sudden he was like, what the hell? Now, it doesn't matter with the outcome of the play, but it was just like, all right, we didn't get it, and there's a penalty. And, I mean, the fumble doesn't really bother me because in that point, like, we're truly cooked.
Who cares?
So, as Josh Jacobs said, it's schoolyard ball at that point, but, I mean, that's just bad, bro. I think I also have this problem with if we have a good offensive line and they know the play, you can get away with it, right? Because to an extent, it is bodies, right? Like the Eagles didn't. I don't remember them like slamming down their safeties. Like we still had the numerical advantage.
Yeah, just the defensive line and linebackers knew where it was going, but in theory, on paper, we had the people to block it up. Yeah.
I think in theory, numerically, you can still make the case that you should run it if you have a functioning offensive line, which we don't. So my point is that if they know what we're like gonna run, and it's this group that we have out there, you have to can it. Jordan either has to have the ability, or like you said, Matt needs to take the time out because there was no chance that was going to work.
Agreed. There's one other thing that I'm kind of sticks in my craw a little bit. Well, there's a lot, but so our offense seems very devoid of playmakers at the moment, right? Is that fair to say?
Well, don't say it to Dontavian Wicks, but sure.
Or at least we're not giving them the correct ability to make plays. That's more where I'm going with this.
Okay, I hear you.
So just looking at targets. All right, looking at targets throughout the game. Who do you think led the team in targets?
I mean, it might end up being Bo towards the end there.
Not quite. It was Dontavian Wicks at
Okay.
8. Okay. Next, Josh Jacobs at 6. Next, Bo Melton at 5. And then Christian Watson at 4. And what was I saying the entirety of the game?
Christian Watson open again.
He was open every time that they either threw to him or we saw a replay of a play that didn't go well. There's Christian Watson just kind of by himself running through the secondary. Dude was open. It felt like every play. Now, he had 4 targets, 2 receptions. One of his bigger receptions got called back due to one of our penalties, unfortunately. But on a team that apparently, at this point, doesn't have a lot of playmakers, or at least we're struggling to get them the football, please just give Christian Watson the ball. He's looked really good since coming back. He has not skipped a beat at all. He looks just as good, if not better, as when he left. He needs to be a focal point of the offense. I understand that maybe he's still coming back on a snap count type of thing, but if Bo Melton can get 5 targets, then I think Christian can get at least 6. I think that's reasonable.
Especially with the production of this offense that we've seen, Christian Watson has to be a focal point.
Has to be.
I would just like to point out there were a couple plays in this game where we had opportunities for huge plays, and 2 of our biggest stars completely whiffed. Uncharacteristic like mistakes that could have saved the game for us with how close it was, right? And one of those players, unfortunately, was Christian Watson. In the first half, on a 3rd and 20, Jordan throws it up to him, and it is into coverage, but Christian Watson has an angle at the ball to make up his usual, go up and get it. Not even 50-50 ball. He would have been able to box out the corner. He had the angle. The throw was good enough. And Christian instead plays it like a DB and sweats the ball away.
Yeah, he panicked. But as soon as the ball was in the air, he panicked.
You could see on his face, they showed him after that play, and he's like, oh, yeah, I messed that up.
That was a touchdown. Yeah.
That was a touchdown. The other one, just before I forget it, because, we're going to be in circles with this game.
Yep.
4th quarter, Josh Jacobs. I think the Packers are running a vertical concept. And it's the play in Madden all the time. You got verts, and you got a running back in the little blue route where you do block and release. And you either, go to the line of scrimmage and go left or go right. And he went left where he was going to be off to the races.
Yeah, man
opens
coverage
up
against the middle linebacker, one-on-one.
And he opens up to the right instead.
Mm-hmm.
How is that even?
Yeah, he somehow goes left while turning right. Very odd.
Very odd. But if he, turns the proper way, which I'm sure he has every other 999 times he's done this route, because this isn't some nuanced fancy. This is pretty staple from high school football.
100%. Yeah.
What are you doing? The Zoolander? You're turning a different way for a new look for the magazine? What is going on, Josh Jacobs?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And then even at the end of the game, we this is something we talked about previously. Luke Musgrave, man. I'm really struggling with him right now because he's doing all right, but it's just depressing to watch him catch that ball in the flat. This was the second to last play of the game for us. Catch the ball in the flat.
It's 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8, right? Catch the ball, and there's 1.5 people between him and the first down marker, right? And as soon as someone touches him, he just goes down a yard short. And you just know that Tucker gets that every single time.
There were a couple plays where that happened, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just And I can't, at this point, I can't blame Luke Musgrave because this is who he is, right? He didn't do anything wrong, necessarily. He just can't do that. He can't do it. But especially coming off the last couple of weeks, obviously the week Tucker went down and then Tucker's coming out party the week before that. Just an even more stark reminder of the difference between the two. And it's just we never even would have been in that position if Luke could just make literally anybody miss or break a single tackle or even just get tackled slightly slower. Right? That's all we needed. Just him to get tackled slower. That's it. He's 6'6". This should not have been that hard. Oh, man. Gets me fired up just thinking about it.
Listen, one of his catches, though, he did take off just a little glance route to the outside, and he did outrun someone for like 7 yards. So he did show there.
He can do that.
He can do that.
Yeah.
He can draw a PI penalty for like 35 yards.
That was great. That's why I believe I said specifically like Luke found a very productive way to fall down. Because all he did was fall down. He didn't have to catch it. He just fell down.
I do have to say that ball floated in slow motion, and I was like, well, it's a big white guy. Tucker's out, so this is not going to be caught. Correct. And then the PI flags flow, and you're ecstatic, and you're elated,
like,
and everything is great. Yep. But yeah, you knew that Luke Musgrave was not going to catch that ball, or it would have been the highlight of his career and could have turned the table, but I was not betting on that outcome.
No, not super hopeful at that point.
Not at all. Sigh. All right, so let's just talk about some problems. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some problems that we have, that we see. Okay. Apparently, Matt LaFleur doesn't talk to kickers. Well, maybe you should talk to kickers.
Correct.
There's a couple opportunities in this game where we could have taken a 58 and a 57-yard field goal, I believe, which are not easy kicks.
No.
And we decided not to go for those. But, if Mr. Haversick was active, would we have tried that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
at least one of them.
Until proven otherwise.
Right, if he misses one of them, we may not do the second one, but whatever.
Yeah, but going into that, I think he would make it.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen anything else.
Right.
There was a report in the broadcast that it was this game, right, where the report came out that he was talking to one of the commentators. He being McManus says, "Oh yeah, I'm not fully healthy yet." Like, what?
Right.
And then I'm curious as to your thoughts with the second attempt of the field goal.
Oh my God!
After the first one, did you still want to go out and try it, or did you want to see Jordan go out there and throw it?
So I knew that the Hail Mary wasn't going to work, right?
Yeah.
Like realistically. So I was okay with trying again, but very rarely does it feel like when a kicker comes up short that he ever will make the second one, right? And there's a couple reasons for this, I think. And especially when your kicker's coming off of or is still injured in his leg, which is pretty important for a kicker, right?
Don't you know?
Like, it's not like the first attempt he didn't give it everything he had, right? Like, you don't miss a 64-yarder just short by just going up there and hitting a nice little easy shot. Like, he tried on that one to get it there, and he couldn't. Why, after you exert all your effort, right, all of it, to try to make the practice kick, do you think that he would have the exact same amount of effort shortly thereafter, right? It's not going to happen. There's not proper time to cool down and warm back up again for a maximum effort attempt like that. That's not the way muscles work. It's not the way it works. So I knew there was absolutely no shot he was going to make the second one. Now, did I think it would be better than the worst kick I've ever seen in my life? Probably. I had slightly higher hopes. I expected it to just land at the front of the end zone or something. Whatever shankopotamus he did, phenomenal. Loved it. Just at least it made it so there was no doubt in my mind. The second it was kicked, it was like, okay, game over. I don't even have to watch the ball at this point. But yeah, I probably would have gone for the Hail Mary at that point because the kicker can't do it. He just proved to you he can't do it. If that was it, no rush, maximum effort, and he came up short, it's not going to get better than that.
Brandon McManus needs to be so thankful for the Packers' ineptitudes on offense because I haven't seen that kick anywhere, on Reddit, on social media, anywhere, because everything else is just shitting on Matt LaFleur and the Packers as a whole.
Correct. But that kick was so bad.
He is so fortunate. Yeah, that is absolutely the worst kick outside of college.
Right.
Where, in multiple college teams, you get absolute straight up tryouts. coaching Arizona State today. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember last year when our kicker was a tryout. Like it's rough in college, so you can see some of those kicks on Saturdays,
Right.
but to see that on Sunday, I mean, wide left, wide right, short, whatever. That wasn't even wide. There needs to be another word in my vernacular for what that was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of those. That was one of my my tee shots where your cart's a little in front of the tee box. You're waiting for me to go, and you yell, "Oh God!" And whether it nearly hits you or JP, you're like, Devin, are we okay? Like, are we fighting right now? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, that's just how I golf. Sorry about it. It was one of
100%.
those.
That's a very good way to describe.
And I don't know if you're aware. I am not a professional golfer.
I am, but now you've made that very clear to the rest of the audience as well. So, nice job.
I mean, when you put the hat back and you become Chad, you have a chance. But regular Luke, I mean, he's the best of the bunch. But the rest of the group isn't exactly trying out for the PGA either.
Yeah, it's a low
Let's just
bar.
say that.
It's a low bar.
It is a low bar. Oh, low bar. Like apparently the standards for the Packer running game. Yeah, Matt LaFleur said our 3.5 under 3.5 yard average is great, is enough. We're doing our job. And Matt, that's like the 20 something best yard per average in the NFL with like the league leaders being like 5.
Yeah, if you give your Pro Bowl, sometimes all pro caliber running back the ball 21 times, you better get more than 74 yards. Right?
Yeah.
You better.
It ain't enough. I mean, I think that you pointed out that after Elton Jenkins went down, which RIP Elton, especially like super RIP, because you may never play for the Packers again.
Very good chance.
Which unfortunately at this point I'm really okay with, because at center, you left me wanting more. You left me wanting more.
Yeah, you ended. So let's just talk about Jenkins here for a second before we get into the point I know you're kind of getting to, because it probably will be his last snap as a Packer. He was never going to play on his cap hit next year, because it's like $26 million or something crazy like that. Never going to happen. He's about to be 30, I think, next month, if I remember correctly. We don't pay offensive lineman third contracts ever, right? We don't pay 30-year-old offensive linemen ever. The one time we did was David Bakhtiari, and we saw how that turned out. He wasn't good last year at guard. He somehow got worse this year at center. There's been some injury stuff, holding out. Like, there are explanations for it, but if you put 2 bad years together on tape and you cost $20-something million and you're basically free to cut and you're 30 years old, yeah, dude, you're gone. Like, there's no reason to keep you. Especially when
Writings on the wall.
You're already playing at replacement level. It's interesting. I don't know. Did he move to center? Did we move him to center because he was getting worse at guard? Because last year was really the first year that he was not a good guard, right? Or did we do it out of positional necessity, like we all assumed? Right? Was it positional necessity, or was it an effort to try to prolong his career? We'll never know.
I was going to say, I know you're not asking a real question, but I will still say it's positional flexibility. It was to get there in idea, in concept, in ability to produce the best 5 out in the field, which is what they thought this lineup would be. Yeah.
In theory. When in reality, the top 5 probably would have just been Walker, Jenkins, Ryan, Belton, Tom, something like that, The right guard could be whoever at that point, but
if you could have put Anthony Belton in a guard early and rode him with that,
it would have been Jordan Morgan. We know that, but
I mean, unless he's filming his Western Lucas.
But so here's the theoretical question at the beginning of the year: is Jenkins, Ryan, Morgan better than Banks, Jenkins, Morgan / Ryan? Probably, because Banks has been that bad.
Yeah, Banks has been awful. Banks has been like Raiders level free agent signing whiff.
Yeah, so bad. So bad. I have more hope for Hobbs, I think, at this point.
Oh my,
than
yeah,
Banks.
that's saying something.
Well, it feels like
significant.
It feels like we just still may not be using Hobbs right, and he came off a more significant injury, and then he just got injured again. So it feels kind of like, all right, we'll figure it out next year type of thing to me at this point. But like Banks is a left guard. We didn't do anything to him. We didn't move him to the other side. He's not playing center. He's not doing anything weird. He's playing the exact same position he played last year.
Apparently, the fact that what's his face, left tackle, Rasheed Walker is apparently not Trent Williams, and that is a problem.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember we were talking about that before the season? Like, oh well, he was really good with Trent, and then he was not so good. Yeah, he's like past the point of being not so good.
Correct.
He is awful. Awful.
Correct.
It's like, remember Jordan Love's first year starting, we could play a little game, like why will the offensive drive stall out?
Mm-hmm.
And it was offensive penalty, drop pass, yada, yada, yada. Let's make the spinner wheel for this year. One of those portions is for sure Aaron Banks just gets dusted.
Yep.
Like someone goes right through him.
Yeah.
One of them is dumb pre-snap penalty, most of those being committed by Jordan Morgan, but also like the misalignments, right? The one that we had in the fourth down play. Matt LaFleur having an inappropriate amount of testosterone because he just gets really aggressive when he shouldn't and then isn't at all at other points.
Fair.
What else do we add to the wheel? Because drops really haven't been a problem. There were a couple last week, but not nearly
this week
to
was
the
pretty
point.
much the only time.
But it was like 2, and one of them was by a cornerback. What do you expect, bro?
Well,
He's used to playing DB.
I expect to not have him on the field that much. In all honesty,
I've been asking for Bo on the field, but I did not want to see him that much on offense.
He played like 25 second half snaps. He played like the entire second half, basically.
I also just want to point out
there had to be a better option.
We're talking about Bo.
Yeah.
And I love Bo. And he did have a drop on a key, got to have it in the fourth quarter. And I will admit that. But what I would also like to point out is, I'm sure this will really surprise you folks, in our Packers group text, there were a lot of profanities being swung around, and not just by yours truly.
No,
a lot of strong words.
It was everybody.
A lot of strong vernacular. And it was for 98% of the plays in this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anger, frustration. Of course we're feeling these things. But I would just like to point out that when Bo had his drop, none of us were angry. We were all just very, very sad. Very sad for Bo. And, he did come back and have a couple of catches late. He did set up the ultimate whiff of a field goal. That was him. He had like a 18-yard pass to the middle of the field. Nice play, Bo Melton. But, yeah, he definitely played a lot more than for sure we anticipated, and honestly more than we would have liked.
Yeah, and look, I get that Romeo went out, right? So that leaves you with Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath, Savion Williams, and Bo Melton. But like, Bo can't be on the field every single play. Then,
you also have Josh Wiley. Like, bro,
more tight ends. I mean, it's not like the game was truly out of reach, right? At the end, the last drive or two, I get it. Just all the wide receivers need to be on the field. That's fine. But before that, he doesn't need to be wide receiver 2 on every play, because that's kind of what was happening. It's like,
and if we're gonna have
off the field,
let me jump on your back for this one. If we're gonna have one receiver on the field every single play, it should be Christian Watson.
Yes, and if he can't physically do it, it needs to be Dontavian Wicks. That's it. I mean, there's no other option.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I sent in our group text the John Wicks meme gif, whatever, at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was him. He had a couple really tough contested catches for first downs. Dontavian Wicks balled out. It was back to I just feel like the end of 2023 was so magical.
Yep.
Starting in Toyotathon.
Correct. Which
wink,
started
nudge,
today.
Nudge. But Dontavian, I mean, you think of that prime elite route runner finding holes in zone coverage and then making tough contested catches. It was back to good Dontavian, and man,
it felt good.
I love good Dontavian, man. despite this like terrible performance, like that's something that has to give you a little bit of hope because good Dontavion is a weapon.
It is. And if he is back and feeling good and playing well, and we kind of get obviously Christian, and then Romeo comes back this week. Now we got something cooking again. But Matt will find a way to, on a critical down, have Malik Heath and Bo Melton out there again with Savion Williams. Will he stop that? It's like every big play of the game, Malik Heath and Savion Williams are on the field. And it's like, why? What are we doing? Stop. Put the good ones out there. Stop it. But I know Malik Heath won't be out there this week. I understand that.
I was going to say Malik Heath is not going to be out there, which is kind of breaking news.
Neither will Brandon McManus because he's doubtful. So we're going to get our Lucas Haversick game, and he's going to go like 0 for 4, and it's going to be just like somehow we completely botched this for a month straight. But
all right, we got to have a little bit of organization. So those are going to be like Giants games topics. Okay?
I know.
So we're going to go back to those. Other things of importance from this game. Edgerrin frickin' Cooper is back to being Edgerrin frickin' Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
That forced fumble on Jalen Hurts in the first half while they were driving was absolutely huge. Their best drive by far of that half.
Correct.
They're on a quarterback draw up the middle. No one is there to meet him until Xavier McKinney, like 10 yards down the field, holds him up enough, gets under his body, and then Edgerrin Cooper just playing through the whistle, right? Hurts was already on the ground, and he comes in and strips that ball out. Wonderful play. Keyshawn picks it up, shows, again, maybe I should be a returner, not Romeo Dobbs. Just a thought process. Just a thought. Just food for thought.
He was just
an idea.
This game at the end.
But Keyshawn Nixon with a nice little...
Can he be a kick returner?
Scoop and scamper.
Because if you remember, he wasn't actually a very good punt returner compared to how good he was as a kick returner. But this game we used him as a punt returner, not a kick returner. Why?
Savion. Which I would rather have Keyshawn too. I hear you. Could
you have Savion and Keyshawn back there instead of Savion and once again Bo Melton? There's just an obsession with Savion and Bo Melton in critical positions, and I have no idea why.
There really is, though. I saw a post that we treat Savion Williams like he's an elite NFL receiver when he's on the field, and we really do.
We do.
Do I like his frame, his 6'4" build, the fact that he can play wildcat quarterback and does have good speed and elusiveness despite that frame? Those things often don't go together. You think you're more stiff in the hips, and Savion Williams is just really not. Right?
Yeah.
But he is not like the best offensive playmaker we have on this team.
We're acting like he
all right,
is,
I'm going to go Josh Jacobs, Watson, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
For consistency and route running, I might go Wicks 3, Golden 4 for the potential. Shit. I mean, Luke Musgrave can do things. 5. Romeo. Yeah, I mean, you want to put Romeo 5 and Musgrave 6? Like, I'm just counting people ahead of him.
Emmanuel Wilson? 6. Like, that's probably where it gets interesting, but.
That's a coin toss. Because Emmanuel Wilson will, like, some plays he'll look like the third running back, and in other plays he rumbles for like 10 or 12, and you're like, holy shit, 23 hits different.
100%.
But
100%.
He didn't do much in this game.
He had 1 carry. That's why.
2 yards. And he had also 1 catch for 2 yards. So consistent on the yardage.
Yeah, man. We'll get back to this. There were a couple other, obviously, standout performances on the defense, but like just the Savion thing makes no sense. I never want to see another jet sweep situation to him, at least not for another month. Like, give it a break, guys.
Or a bubble to him?
Correct. Just stop.
It is such a dead giveaway, though. It's like when he is on the field, he is getting the ball, which is a problem.
Can he run a normal route?
He's not that good. Like, I like him a lot. I'm happy he's there.
Me too.
But he is not that good.
No.
It's this whole thing of like, wow, I'm yelling. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Because what would you expect, folks? It's south of the curtain. You can be predictable if you're that effing good.
Right.
The Legion of Boom ran cover 3 every single goddamn play. Did it matter?
Nope.
No, because you couldn't beat it, right? When the Hogs played Buffalo in the Super Bowl, Buffalo knew they were going to run it every single play, especially after their offensive or defensive coordinator talked some shit, whatever it was. Did it matter?
Nope.
No, because they just ran over them because they're called the freaking Hogs. Like, if you have a group that is so talented, it does not matter if the opponent knows what you're going to do.
Are you saying that group
That's not the case.
isn't Savion Williams?
That group is not Savion at this point, right?
Or Malik
Maybe he
Heath
can
is
develop.
the lead blocker?
Maybe he can develop. I don't know, bro. I don't know what we're doing. I'm hoping we get Matthew Golden this week, and I'm hoping that he can look the first round pick that we drafted him as, because that'd be really nice. Like, see what Emeka Ibuka's doing in Tampa when he's healthy. Can Matthew Golden do things like that? That'd be really nice.
And that's I think he can.
Or even Lucas, or even Illinois' own Pat Bryant, like 6th round pick out of Denver. He has a touchdown. Matthew Golden, can you do that for me, please?
That'd be great.
Please.
So,
all right, defense.
Another, because Edgerrin Cooper was a great pull. Quay Walker, he had some really, really big plays as well. 2 tackles for loss. There's a couple stuffs on Saquon where it was a stuff, right?
It was a violence.
Correct. It was Saquon is done right here, right now, which does not happen very often to that man because he's very strong. But so is Quay Walker. So he had a really nice game coming up, filling the run. And similarly, so did Evan Williams. I know he whiffed on at least one, but he was definitely firing through the gaps pretty good, and they talked about him on the broadcast as well. Not a lot of safeties will come up and fill like that. And to make some of the tackles he did, once again, on Saquon Barkley, impressive. Very impressive. So really good game by those 2 guys.
I mean, Evan Williams wears 33 for the Green Bay Packers. He knows the history. He knows the high bar that is set. And with his physicality and presence in the box, the man delivers.
He's doing it.
The turnovers will come. They will come.
They will. They will.
We can't talk about defense. Talk about dogs. We're talking about another dog. We're talking about a dog that went to Georgia. Devontae Wyatt. MVP of this team, bro. He had a couple TFLs. He was looking fresh to death as always. Fantastic play out of him. His partner in crime, Colby Jack Cheese. Also, tackle for loss.
Yep.
Beautiful play.
Yep.
Mr. Texas. Baron Sorrell was our highest rated defender per PFF. They're kind of full of shit, but he did have a nice game.
He did. He had a couple nice plays. 100% he did.
No real splash, but nice to see you, Mr. Sorrell. But I mean, if we're talking defense in this game, I already mentioned it earlier, but goddamn, have a day, CV.
CV1.
Carrington Valentine. What, 3 pass breakups?
He looked
phenomenal. You talk all your shit.
And he did. He 100% did.
But good for you, CV. And these are 2 of the top dogs in the NFL.
And when I saw that he was largely lined up against A.J. Brown, part of me was like, I kind of wish we flipped that. Because Keyshawn's a little stouter, right? Stronger, more physical presence. And A.J. Brown is an absolute monster of a wide receiver. So I figured that matchup would potentially make more sense, and CV could just run with Devontae Smith a little bit better. It's not what we did, but I'm glad because CV essentially just shut down A.J. Brown, right? And it wasn't like they didn't try to get A.J. Brown involved because they did. It didn't matter.
He also had a pass breakup by Devontae Smith, though, so don't forget that.
He did. You're absolutely right.
All right, so we're not quite at James Jones hoodie level, but Carrington Valentine's sleeves is becoming a trend.
It's
something to watch.
It's getting there.
We kind of forget, he's not Kevin King. Few people are. Few human beings are Kevin King, unfortunately. But he's 6'1". He's got a little length to him. That's why I like the sleeves. They show off the lanky arms, right?
That's true.
He is,
good point.
Unfortunately, probably our biggest corner. Unfortunately, they would have someone bigger because, I love a 6'2", 6'3". Maybe Hobbs is the same height, but Keyshawn's...
I think Hobbs is the same height, but Hobbs is jacked. CV is not.
Well, of course Hobbs is jacked. Maybe that's why he's so damn slow. That'd be an explanation for his sins. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm going to have to die a few times for all these pallbearers we got. I mean, this 2020, going to the 2025 season free agency class, I mean, both of them.
Yeah, it's tough.
All of them. Shit, hold on, pause. What was our free agency haul this year? Aaron Banks. Nate Hobbs. McCole Hardman. Now he's in freaking Buffalo.
Yeah, he just
Who
got
else?
activated.
What's his face? Safety McGee. Isaiah Simmons. Nah. Was there anybody else that we signed? What, the Juice Man coming back? Ooh.
Ben Neiman, thank you very much. He's hurt.
Yeah,
but
Ben Neiman, who's now dead, unfortunately. But now we have a new James Dunn, and his name is Josh Wiley, and he's wiry, folks. And we put him at fullback, and he had a couple nice little blocks.
He did. He legitimately did.
I mean, more productive than I would expect out of a fourth emergency tight end brought up in the practice squad.
Yeah.
But Josh Wiley, good for you, showing that NFL pedigree. These aren't your first snaps. I would be lying if I said I wasn't looking for some Josh Wiley action against the Giants.
Well, especially
let's see what you got over Mr. Fitzpatrick. I know we like to joke about John Fitzpatrick, but to me he's like a body with 78 speed and doesn't run block super well. And let's just see what Wiley can do, because the unknown is doors that could open.
Well, I'm just excited that he got to play fullback, because we're going to actually have him play fullback a little bit here. Now we can start doing some fullback stuff. I love some fullback shenanigans.
It just makes me wonder, though, bro, if he wasn't on the practice squad, would we have done it? Would we have done it? Would we have brought him back? Josiah DeGuara, also Cincinnati's own.
I don't think
coming
so.
back.
I don't think so, but
Probably not.
I love the fullback leak plays where they run through the offensive line and just everybody forgets that they're there. I want that kind of stuff, and they just go streaking down the field to Josh Wiley. That's what I want to see. I want us to pull that play out one time against the Giants.
I'm feeling like fullback wheel for the game winner with how this offense
That'd be
is.
phenomenal.
That's what would work.
Something
work.
Should eventually, hopefully.
Is there anything else we need to cover from this game?
I just don't really want to talk about this game anymore, honestly.
All right, Giants we go.
Yeah, let's talk about the Giants.
Giants we go. I will lead. You want to pull up the injuries for the Giants?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the New York Giants, fascinating team, right? They draft Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. They also draft running back darling Cam Scadabo out of Arizona State. And the 2025 New York Giants looked like they could be something special. They even beat the Eagles a few weeks back. They were rolling high, looking like a wild card team in the NFC, really shocking some folks just with their headbutting and their energy. They also have just a stupid plethora of riches on defense. How dare I forget to mention that with their first pick, number 2 overall, they took Abdul Carter, absolute monster defensive end, generational talent at defensive end. In a room where they already had Kayvon Thibodeau. They already had, what's his face from the Panthers, Lucas? Brian Burns.
Mm-hmm.
Just a plethora of riches.
Dexter Lawrence.
So you have this ground and pound running game, enough in the passing game with Jackson Dart being smart, little read option with him. The pass defense with an absolute depth of riches that is laughable. I remember laughing when they took Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
Laughing. Why would you do that? But oh my Lord, that strength is just even doubled, tripled, whatever now. And find enough people in the secondary. You got Bobby Okereke at linebacker, former Colt, who's a better than average starter, probably one of their better players in the second half of that defense. But this is a team that is now really in a crux. Cam Scadabo is out for the season. So is their first round pick from last year, wide receiver Malik Neighbors. He is gone. Jackson Dart was evaluated for his 4th concussion last week. Sounds like he's not going to go.
Correct.
Against the Bears, Jackson Dart was still had them in the lead despite no Cam Scadabo. And then he had another concussion scare, took him out of the game. And it was Russell Wilson, our old friend, who was unable to hold off the Chicago Bears. So you're thinking, all right,
Here we
Russ,
go.
No Scadabo, no Dart, no Malik Neighbors. Can't forget that. We're going to be okay. And then they announced 2 things this week. 2 things that don't quite have me worried, but at least have me unsettled. That's the word I'll use.
It's a good way to put it.
Unsettled. They're starting Jameis Winston. And as we know from our first ever episode,
Correct.
Jameis can see. That's going full circle. And we're not planning on the show, so we're not talking about Jameis on our last show. But we're not going to go that full circle. But Jameis is starting, and probably one of the most similar prototype players to Jameis, ironically enough, is Illinois' own, their new head coach after they fire Brian Dable, Mike Kafka, who went to Northwestern and in the bowl game his senior year went like 44 of 77. Like 77 passing attempts in a game.
Yeah, like 400 some yards. 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, something like that. Yeah.
It is well documented that teams get a little bit of an oomph from when they play after their head coach is fired. Jameis Winston entered this league looking like a scumbag for some things that he did pre-draft, and now he's everyone's favorite person. He's up there for me. He's pretty funny. But he's just going to sling it. This dude had like 24 touchdowns and 24 picks his rookie year. Does not look that much more risk adverse in the spot duty that we've seen him.
His last year in Tampa, he threw for 5,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions. He'll chuck it.
He will chuck it. But no Malik Neighbors. I also believe, Mr. Injury Report, no Darius Slayton either.
You're stealing some of my thunder, but yeah, no Darius Slayton.
So it's Wan'Dale Robinson, who's having a little bit of a resurgence.
He's having a good year.
For being a little scat player out of Kentucky.
I think so. Yeah, I always get him and Kadarius Toney confused, so I think you're right. Tony's Florida.
Kentucky. Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee.
Yeah, who cares?
And then are they the team that's playing David Sills? Like, I don't know what's after that. I don't think it's great.
Well, we'll find out shortly, but let me finish the injury report because they got a lot of them, right? This is probably the game that we are finally the least injured team. So, above everything you already mentioned, our former boy, Anthony Johnson Jr., is going to miss this game.
Oh, no.
Good for him still being in the league.
Unfortunate.
Good for him still being in the league.
I didn't know he was still on the team. Good for
Neither
him.
did I. Evan Neal, injured reserve. Chauncey Golston, their defensive end, ruled out. Tyler Nubin, safety that I really liked out of Minnesota a couple years back, doubtful. Bobby Okereke, the linebacker, questionable. Raheem Nunez Roches, doubtful. Defensive tackle. Kavion Thibodeau out.
Dude.
Thank God.
He's been in the league for like 10 years.
Yes.
Nunez Roches is just like a solid stud run defender, which is going to help that he's not playing.
100%.
And same with Thibodeau.
100%.
Well, Thibodeau won the passing game, but.
Paulson, Adebo, questionable. And then Darius Slayton out.
And Paulson Adebo, I believe, is CB1.
Correct. And we have more kicking shenanigans. Graham Gano is going to be out, which I believe brings up Young Huku, if I remember right. They're pulling him up from their practice squad after he got cut by Atlanta. So it's going to be the battle of the backup kickers.
The battle of the backup kickers. Let's just be excited and appreciate the fact that, you know, we don't have to worry about every single time a kick goes out, like we line up for a kick, that if he misses, we're going to be wondering why are we still playing McManus, right? Like that isn't even a thing in our heads. Like going into this game,
Correct.
There's no, is our decision making based upon our inability to trust McManus with his injury? There's no like, oh, would Haversick have kicked this distance? Because it'll just be, oh, he's there.
I'm with you. It'll make me more accepting of any mistakes. Naturally.
Totally.
All right, so let's talk about some of their other players because they got some interesting ones, right? So we already talked about Jameis starting in lieu of Cam Skadaboo. We got Tyrone Tracy Jr., who was someone I really liked coming out of Purdue. You can go back check the tape. I was a big fan of him after this combine. And Devin Singletary, who I don't know why they still give the football to, but they do. So we got Wando.
If I may,
Yeah.
as the probably the more of the two Devin Singletary experts.
Yeah.
Because he was in Buffalo for like 4 years.
He was, and he didn't really do anything there either.
Yeah, he's trash. That's all. Continue.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Okay, so
I'm more of an expert on him. I just wanted to reinforce,
Thank you.
yes, as someone who watched him played, his name was even Devin. His name was Devin, not Devin. Wow, his name was Devin. So I should have liked him, and he was trash.
Yeah,
absolute trash.
He's not particularly good at anything, right? Maybe he's really good at pass protection, but
he no Chris Brooks.
Like Tyrone Tracy Jr. gets less receptions, less targets a game than Devin Singletary. Tyrone Tracy Jr. was a wide receiver for half his collegiate career. Why? That makes no sense. If you have a running back that used to be a wide receiver, wouldn't he get like the screens and maybe give him some nice option routes? He could run a heck of a Texas route. Like, you got options with that. He knows how to run a route. He has good hands. He's even bigger. He's closer to wide receiver size. Like, blows my mind. Also, I have him on a couple fantasy teams, so it makes me really mad every time I see Devin Singletary get a catch. I'm like, why? Why is he on the field? Why?
That Tyrone Tracy quip about him being a wide receiver at Purdue, that was the most predictable rant you've ever gone on.
Oh, I know.
I'm so
I know.
happy. I was there for it. You and your Tyrone Tracy train.
Man, I was so vindicated last year when he just kind of like seemingly appeared out of nowhere and led their backfield and rushing and receiving. It looked really good. I felt proud because I'm like, yeah, no, I called that one. I got that one on tape. But that's okay. Anyways, you already talked about Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, Isaiah Hodgins.
Oh, my God, that's right. They brought back Isaiah Hodgins.
They did, but they also have Gunnar Olszewski.
A Belichick disciple.
Yes. At tight end, we got Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger. They're fine. They're good, right? They're decent tight ends. We have former Packer John Runyon Jr. at left guard.
I was going to say JRJ,
Could we trade him for Aaron Banks right now? Could we just do a little straight swap? I'd take JRJ back right now.
Oh, easy.
He was fine.
We can't. I wish we
Correct.
could.
He was fine, right? And he's making half of what Aaron Banks is, so that'd be cool. And then on defense, we already talked about most of their fun people. Dexter Lawrence, always going to be an issue, right? Always an issue. Can get a little pass rush going from the inside. Roy Robertson Harris, who we're familiar with, former Bear, right?
Long-time vet, yeah.
Long-time vet, been floating around quite a while. And that's pretty much it. Javon Holland, what's left of Javon Holland at free safety.
I feel like he was a you guy.
Yeah, I always, yeah. But
double unfortunate with Newbin being out because I feel like AJJ could have seen some snaps then. Maybe not starting, but like 3 safety looks.
I agree. Could have potentially gotten on the field. I liked AJJ and Tyler Newbin. I like both of them. But yeah, so this is not a team, especially given their injuries, that we should struggle with on paper. But we don't care about paper, apparently, because we're going to struggle with everybody. Doesn't matter.
We're just going to play this like scared to lose bullshit. I mean, the Christian Watson plays a perfect example of like the philosophy of that team. Christian Watson, with the ball that he can perfectly well catch, goes to play DB because this coach is scared and this team plays scared. And if you believe in Jordan so much, then effing show it with your play calling. And make changes if we need to on the offensive line. Or, switch however you're trying to motivate the guys. I don't exactly know what the answer is, Matt LaFleur. But my God, if you let Jameis Winston just send it on us all day and we play call like a bunch of little bitches and we lose this game, like this season is just about over. I know it's like we could make the playoffs, but like my faith in this team is
I think that's a good way to put
really on life
I
support.
think it's the faith at that point. And look,
am I wrong? Like,
no.
Do you not see that as like a 0% chance in this game that Jameis is going to come out and say, F it. He's going to send it. Mm-hmm. And if LaFleur is playing scared and coaching scared and we're just so negative. I know like we're sitting here bitching about our team, like we're being negative, but like you guys are professionals. Believe in your damn selves. Believe Jordan's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Figure it out schematically. Get Matthew Golden the ball. My God.
I'm with you. And like we talked about last week, I would have been fine if we had lost to the Eagles like 31-28 or something like that, right? 24-21, whatever. That's a normal football game. You're not going to win every game. Things are going to happen. Weird bounces, weird calls by the ref, whatever, right? But like the team has to show life. The offense, not the team, the offense has to show life to regain faith from the fan base and from us at this point. Because right now it's gone. I think all the goodwill built up over previous years has been dashed by just the play calling and the the inconsistency of how we're going to attack problems. We talked a lot about that last week with like the process of when to do what. And as long as you have a process, at least just stick with it. And we still don't, right? We ended up in the same situations, making seemingly random calls based on nothing is what it felt like. We need to look like an actual football team on offense. That's it, right? And we need to become more aggressive, like you said, because trying to play safe and conservative clearly isn't working. Like, the defense is going to break eventually, even if it's only for 10 points. But we're 13 points away from being undefeated, right? Play to win the game. And then when you have the lead, play to embarrass them. Now, I understand that at the NFL level, you don't actually do that, right? Unless you're Mike McDaniel, you're not actually going to put 70 up on an opponent. But, like, it'd be cool to break 30 again.
It'd be cool to break 10, bro.
I know. I understand. Yes. 20. I'm just so frustrated with this team right now. And it sucks because there's so much talent on it, right? But there is one saving grace. We briefly brushed on it earlier. What is today, Devin? What is today?
I had an idea that this savior could be coming, and I checked before the Eagles game, and this savior of a cloud was not yet here. But friends, today we are in the midst of Toyotathon.
And why does that matter?
And do we not know what Jordan Love does in Toyotathon? He ends people. He ends people. He ends careers. Jordan Love throws touchdowns, is immune to interceptions, just goes nuclear. Nuclear. Lucas, stall while I pull up some stats, please and thank you. This is usually reversed, but talk about Jordan Love and Toyotathon, please.
Jordan Love, for those of you that don't know at home, this started his first year in 2023, first year starting with us, where the first half of his year was not great, right? Not great. But the second half, he was on fire.
Remember the wheel? That was the first half.
Yeah, 100%. That was the first half. The wheel of why we lost. And everything was fixed come second half as Toyotathon started. And then last year, well, to end the 2023 season, he ended the year on like an 18 touchdown, 1 interception run, something crazy like that. Was the best quarterback in the league for the second half of the year.
All right, I'm ready.
Tell the people the full extent of Toyotathon. All
right, so this first half is going to be a little rough. Oh, this might have backfired bringing this up, but I'm just going to say it. So Jordan Love's career non-Toyotathon stats: 3,829 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 25 interceptions.
Oof.
That's
a little okay, Jameis-like.
But glass half full here. In Toyotathon, he has 3,283 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
I mean, that's...
Now, this also kind of goes in sync, in line, in rhythm with the fact that, Toyotathon is November and December.
Yep.
When we get the offense more in a rhythm. So let's, for the love of God, really hope that that's the trend for the season, because if not, this is ultimately one of the worst wasted seasons that we've ever had. I mean, you can talk about the year that Jordy tore his ACL, but with all of the talent that we have on this team, I mean, Tucker being hurt is awful, but this is still one of the lowest loaded rosters we have ever had. A Pro Bowl running back who is a Pro Bowl with the frickin' Raiders, and this isn't the 80s, so like Raiders don't have Pro Bowlers. They don't have good players, right? Like the fact that they're a Pro Bowler, it should be like a double Pro Bowl if they're playing on the Raiders, because the rest of that team is so goddamn bad. Like same thing with Max Crosby. Like he deserves an extra award for being that dominant on the Raiders, despite everybody else that was around him. You have Josh Jacobs. You have Christian Watson. You got Dontavian Wicks. Jane Reed's coming back. Matthew Golden. Must I go on? And we felt this pressure of this window before the season started, before we traded for Micah Parsons, and now it's just like it's this year or next year, and then we're probably going to be trash after.
We may not be trash, but things, Yeah, we're not going to be spending a lot of money, that's for sure.
The time is now, as Kevin Green would say. The time is now. And for the love of God, the New York Giants are back to looking like the New York Giants. I don't care that they have Illinois' own Mike Kafka being the head coach. I do not care. I do not care. There can be no more excuses. We need to go win this, as you've been saying, like a real NFL game. It doesn't need to be 42-3, but like it needs to be at least a 14-point deficit where we need to be in control. We need to be able to run the ball against a team that has surprisingly struggled against the run despite the plethora of names.
They're really bad against the run. They're like top 3 worst run defenses in every metric. Them, the Cowboys, and the Bengals. And we ran just fine against the Cowboys and the Bengals. So here we go.
I really hope here we go. Do we even... Nah. Not even do we even. We have to. We have to come up with some stats.
Obviously.
So game prediction and a couple numbers, Lucas. Throw them at me.
Oh, God. Starting with me. Okay. Well, it is Toyotathon. So obviously the points are going up. Right. That's the way it works. Let's go 34-21. Okay. Where it's one of those games where we control it most of the game and we kind of give up a garbage time touchdown to get it a little closer than it felt. I'm going to go with... Man, there's so many potential options here. Well, I'm going to go with Evan Williams interception.
Oh, I was going to, too. You're the worst.
Well, Jameis is going to chuck it. Quarterbacks so far are completely avoiding the deep middle of the field against us for the most part with X and Evan Williams back there. So Jameis won't, right? He won't be afraid. And then on offense, I think they're going to hear me. I think Matt LaFleur is going to hear the 75 text messages I sent in the group chat on Monday night. Christian Watson is always open. He gets 2 touchdowns.
I think we would all be very happy if Christian Watson had 2 touchdowns.
100%.
That would be fantastic. All right. I was also thinking Evan Williams interception.
It's a good one.
Well, first of all, we go to my score. 21-17.
Oh, God. Don't do that to us.
I mean, that's 3 whole touchdowns. We haven't had 3 touchdowns since the Battle of Gettysburg, bro. I forgot what that even feels like. 21-17. We're winning. Just be happy there.
That would suck.
I'm going to say a good vibes touchdown by Luke Musgrave.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably like an arrow route where someone gets picked across the middle and they don't call it.
He catches it in the end zone, right?
He catches it or just has to make a few steps. It seemed like a 7-yard touchdown.
That's dicey. Okay.
It's 7 or under. This is not going to be some great gallivanting,
just kind of like a play action in the flat type of scenario.
In the flat where he's picked off by the receiver going on a slant.
Yeah.
Like that kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
That's the vibe. Or maybe it's like the 2 receiver where they like go out for routes, quote unquote, but they're really just blocking and he goes to the angle in the corner.
Okay.
We hit that with Tuck early.
Yeah.
And there was at least one of those attempts where he didn't actually make somebody miss. So it was just blocked up that well with the angle he could get in. So that is something Musgrave can do.
Correct.
As long as, he doesn't fall down. And then defensively, I was thinking Evan Williams. Originally, I was thinking X, but like Jameis will be smart enough not to try X.
Oh, I wanted to say X. It just felt too easy.
I just felt like he might avoid X to throw to Evan Williams. So I'll go somewhere else.
Okay.
Devontae Wyatt a 1.5 because you're the MVP of this team.
Okay. I like it. I hate your score prediction, but I like your stat prediction.
It's probably more realistic, unfortunately.
Let me be the optimist then.
Little bit of a twist from usual. I'm here for it.
A little bit.
All righty, folks. Well, until next time.
Go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go.